As much as it'll surprise a lot of you watching this, I had a very different path before I became the person that a lot of you know me for. And you're probably sitting there wondering, really? Crystal Kelly having a different path? I wonder what that was like. And I'd definitely be open to sharing what life was like for me pre this version that you see now in a later video, because I think it'll provide a lot of context as to where I came from, the struggles I've had to overcome, and really the transformation I had to go through to develop the right kind of mindset that enabled me to succeed early on in life. And throughout the years that I've worked on myself and on building my software company, I've had to face a lot of challenges and deal with some very dark moments in my life, as is such with many people who set their minds on what they want and put in the effort to go after it. But the reason why I was able to overcome a lot of those difficulties and rise above them, as I reflect, boil down to two character traits that I naturally developed in my teens that essentially saved me from becoming a victim to many of life's tragedies. Because here's the fact: bad things will happen to you whether you like it or not. It's just a fact of life. Some of it will be through other people's doing, and others will be through your own doing. And no matter how hard you and I try to run from it, we will never be able to escape challenges in life because they're part and parcel of life here on this planet. And the sooner we realize the purpose challenges serve in our lives, the sooner we begin to take control of our lives and become the masters of our destinies. I mean, wouldn't you want that? And so in this video, I'm going to share with you these two important character traits that I developed in my teens that enabled me to take full control of my life and prevented me from ending up on the streets like everyone else around me. And this is important for anyone watching this, regardless of your age, your background, and where you are now in life. Because if you can adopt and internalize these qualities and make them a part of your identity, nothing in life that happens to you will ever stop you from pursuing what you want, nor will it limit you in any way. And if you're someone who's facing a difficult time now in your life, my hope is that what I'm about to share will open your mind to see that you don't have to feel like a victim to the things happening to you, and to realize that you have a choice in every situation you're faced with. You really do, to determine how you're going to feel about it and how you're going to respond to it. And this might surprise a lot of you with me saying this, but once you understand that things in life don't happen to you, they tend to happen for you, and a lot of times you tend to attract them because of where you are in life, because of the thoughts you've accommodated, because of the habits you've built, because of the relationships you maintain, because of the decisions you wake up every morning and the actions you take every day. And once you realize that if you can shift into a different mindset, if you can shift your thought patterns to see life in a different light, in that you see the things that happen to you not because they want to hurt you, but rather that they're lessons that are there to teach you something. And so there's really gold amongst all the rubble and all the turmoil that many of life's challenges have. But you won't see it until you shift your thinking about what challenges are for and the purpose that they serve in your lives. And so my hope is that by the end of this video, you'll walk away realizing that if I can practice these two qualities that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I can alter my path now and I can change my life for the better. So looking at the first character trait that saved me from allowing many of life's tragedies to destroy me, it's important to know that you should never live in the past. Worry and regret robs the soul, it really does. The past is gone, and no matter how hard you try to relive it, you will never be able to change it. So accept it for what it was and learn to let go. Instead, focus on projecting your reality for the future and take the steps necessary today to move closer to that future reality that you want for yourself. Because what you do today and where you end up in life in the near future is really all you have control over. But it starts with you learning to live in the present moment and working towards your projected future reality of where you'd like to be in a few years' time. And when you start to shift your thought pattern to thinking like that, you know what will happen? Your future reality will take care of itself. But it can only happen when you learn to let go of the past. Make peace with it. Focus on your future and the habits you need to build and the actions you need to take now. You know, I know a lot of people around me. In fact, we're all surrounded by those kinds of people who cannot help but live in the past and regret and wish they didn't do this or that this never happened to them. But why does it matter when all they're doing is robbing themselves of the opportunity to start over, to start anew? Because that's really what a new day brings. It gives you the option, it gives you the opportunity to start fresh and to not worry about what happened yesterday or your failures in the past weeks, months, and years previous. But you know what's crazy about people not understanding that a new day brings a new opportunity for them to start over is that these people who are so stuck in the past, they can easily apply the same energy they're putting into living in the past to building their new future, but yet people choose not to do that. Now, why is that? And that's because they're so conditioned over the years of repetitively doing this, of living in the past, that is. And they've become so used to being victims of the past that they find themselves stuck in this endless loop that they can't escape from. But I want to tell you that there's hope and that there's a way out. You just need to do two things. Number one, in order to move beyond the past, you need to look it in the eye, face it head on, and accept it for what it was. Accept that yes, I had unfortunate things that happened to me in the past, or my life was like this in the past, but I still have a choice as to how I want to interpret it and how I'd like to see it. And I have a choice to see the past in a positive light and to convince myself that no matter how bad it was there in my life at that time for a specific reason. It was there to grow me, to make me a better person, and to teach me about life and about those around me who treated me badly and were the source of my pain. And importantly, it taught me about myself, because there's no better way to learn about yourself than through difficult times. They really bring out the best in you, truly. And number two is to acknowledge that I can't change the past because I no longer have control over it. Worrying about it is like chasing an illusion in your head, because all the past is today is a memory in your head. That's all there is to it, really. The past exists simply as neurological connections in your brain. And the more you relive it, despite it not being real anymore, you begin to give it life and energy. And as a result of that, you start to distort your present reality to believe that it is a part of your present experience in your present existence when it's not. On the flip side, when you make peace with your past, accept it for what it was and learn to let it go, over time you begin to forget about it. Because there's this principle in neuroscience that says that what you don't use, you lose. Or to be more precise, there's this law in neuroscience called Hab's law, or the Habian law, that states that nerve cells that fire together wire together. Now, why is this significant? Well, it means that the less you remember and relive your past memory, literally your neurons and the synaptic connections between them that first created those past experiences begin to prune over time, to the point where neurologically your brain no longer has the past stored as part of your memories. You literally have no neurological imprint or no neurological memory or no neurological evidence of your past existing in your brain. So here's my advice. Lose the old you, the old neurological connections that exist in your brain. Instead, imprint new imagery of your future ideal self and the reality you desire, and slowly begin to build in your mind new neurological connections about the new you. Your mind is the greatest technology that ever exists and will ever exist in this entire reality. Learn how to use it properly and to channel your thoughts and energy to the right places, and you will become unstoppable. I promise you. For a lot of you who may be interested in getting into understanding, how your brain stores memory and how it creates your past experiences so that you're able to remember them, and many people are stuck in reliving them over time, and how you can also use your brain to map a new future for yourself, to create a new identity, I'd highly recommend you to watch the series called Rewired by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's available on Gaia. So it's simply like the Netflix of spiritual development. So I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to check it out, but highly recommend you to watch that series, because it's going to teach you a lot about how you can scientifically go beyond your old identity and tap into a new space of energy where you can begin to create and project the future reality that you want for yourself. Because I think that's all everyone wants, really, is to be able to transcend their old identity and their past and to begin to create a new future for themselves where they'd love to live in, really. Now, moving on to the second character trait that enabled me to succeed early on in life and to not become a victim to many of life's tragedies is to never blame anyone else for where you are in life and all that has happened to you. This means not blaming your parents, your environment, the people around you, and the circumstances you face. This is about personal accountability. Or to put it another way, it's about learning to take responsibility of your own life. And once you understand that you alone hold the power to your future and have control over your own life, it is your duty to lead it, regardless of what's happened to you, what is happening now, and what will happen to you in the future. Until you learn to take ownership of your life, you will never be able to get anywhere far in life, because you alone will be your worst enemy. Blaming everyone else and never taking responsibility of your life will only work to limit you and all the wonderful things you can do. So here's what's worked well for me that you can apply in your life now if you're someone who's yet to take full responsibility for everything happening in your life. Number one, tell yourself that no matter what happens to you, you will never blame anyone or anything. Instead, you will take full responsibility of your life and ask yourself, in those tough situations, what can I do to change things? What is this experience trying to teach me, and how can I learn from it so that I can grow from it? The simple shift in your perception of bad things happening to you will enable you to always see the good in the bad, the positive in the negative, and your outlook in life and persona will be of someone who never lets a difficult moment tear him down. And this is how you begin to use setbacks, bad experiences, and struggles to grow and mold you into a better person. At the end of the day, you have a choice as to how you react to the things life throws at you. Either you get bitter and you hate the world for it, or you acknowledge it and turn it into something positive. The choice is always yours to make, and it really comes down to all those individual choices you make whenever you're faced with those difficult situations that determines the quality of your life in the long run. And two, remind yourself that you alone have control over your life and where you'll end up in the years ahead. This is a non-negotiable principle to live by in life. I mean, this is what I truly believe. No one can alter your path and make it what it will become but yourself. Either you become a victim to other people and to circumstances around you, and you let those things govern your life and dictate where it will go, or you grab a hold of the steering wheel and take back control of your life and be the master of your destiny. It really is your choice, and it really is that simple. Once you can understand that every day that I wake up, I get to make new choices and to set new thought patterns and to make new decisions and to build new habits and to begin to make small changes to transform my life, you will never blame life or anyone else for anything that happens to you and where you end up in life. You will know that I'm here because I decided to get here. And if where I am is not where I want to be, then I can change it. Remember, the mind can accomplish extraordinary things. The very fact that you have a desire or dream means that you have the corresponding capacity to realize it. This is one of the great universal truths known to mystical sages who have practiced and lived by it for thousands of years. Now, to put everything I've said so far into context, let me give you my own story. When we got bankrupt between 2015 to 2016, after investing over 300,000 kina of our own money into our first project with the government of Papua New Guinea through our software company, we ended up losing our house. My father wasn't able to pay for my year 11 school fee, and the only choice we had at the time was to go live in a settlement. Despite all of that, throughout the 3 years I learned to live in a settlement, I never once blamed my father for putting us in that situation. I never once complained to him, nor did I ever get into an argument or fight with him about where we were. Instead, I asked myself, what can I do to help myself? I'm 16, I've got hands and an incredible mind that God's blessed me with. What can I do to change things and get out of the situation? What can I do to help my father? How can I contribute to doing my bit for the family? And no one taught me to think this way. I just naturally felt and thought that way. And because of that, I was driven to work hard for my own future because I knew no one else was going to make it happen for me but myself. It taught me never to depend on anyone, including my own father, but to take full control of my life and make it worth something. During that period, I won the APAC App Challenge and the Google Digital Prosperity Award in 2018. That same year, I was a recipient of the Westpac Outstanding Woman Awards Young Achievers category, the youngest in the history of the awards, having received it at only 19. I traveled internationally without anyone knowing that my home at the time was at a settlement. Now, for those of you who are in Port Moresby, it was the 6 Mile settlement just behind Tufel Market. By 18, I achieved my financial goal that I set at the age of 15 of earning 100,000 kina when I signed a contract in 2017 to deliver a provincial government project that was worth a total of 160,000 kina. Now, I say all this not to brag, but to demonstrate that my life turned out the way it did because I developed these two character traits. And if I can do all that I've done, having lived in the same environment that most of our young people here in Papua New Guinea find themselves in today, there's no excuse why you can't do it too. Most of you are just stuck in the past and unwilling to take responsibility of your lives. That's why you're not progressing in life. So to summarize what we just covered, in order to get ahead in life, regardless of where you are today and what's happened to you before, you need to be the type of person that, one, never lives in the past, and two, never blames anyone for where you find yourself in life. Rather, live in the present moment. Make new choices, build new and better habits, surround yourself with new relationships that help to build you into a better person, and project your future reality. Moreover, know that you alone have control over your life, and you alone hold the keys to your ideal future and your destiny. So take charge, take full control, and go after the life you want. It's not impossible. It can be done. You never know the potential that exists within you until you learn to pursue your desires and take action on your dreams. I'll end this video video by leaving you to think about and to let us know what your thoughts are on like 2 character traits I've shared that's been pivotal to me succeeding in life. We'd love to hear in the comments if you're someone who was once battling with getting over the past and with blaming external circumstances and others for where you were in life, but you've made that shift and experienced the significant changes that came with such a forward-thinking mindset. Conversely, if you're yet to cross that river of change and you're someone still stuck in the past and as a result can't move forward, tell us about your experience below, and I'll be more than happy to offer some guidance to help you work through this difficult period you're facing. But until next time, thanks for the company.